will do that recording when I start. So welcome. You can stop it and when yeah. Hare Krishna. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Very, 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 very warm welcome, warm welcome to this Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters, 18 hours, 18 sessions, fifth chapter, fifth hour, fifth session. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is means beautiful. Sri means beautiful. Srimad means beautiful. Bhagavad means Bhagwan. Bhagwan, that is the most important person. Gita means song. Srimad Bhagavad Gita means the song of the most powerful person. Srimad Bhagwan, God. Beautiful God's beautiful song. I would say that Srimad Bhagavad Gita is not only song of God, it's song of love which God has got in his heart for all of us. It's all the living entities. Krishna wants all of us to be happy, not only happy, not only very happy, ever increasingly, uninterruptedly be happy. So Krishna is speaking this through Arjuna to all of us and giving his divine, auspicious, transcendental, spiritual message, instructions to all of us. From the first chapter, we see that Arjuna is thinking that he is Pandava, and Krishna says, oh, if you think you're a Pandava, you will be in problem. So second chapter, Krishna says, you are not Pandava, you are so. And in the first chapter, Arjuna is saying that I am Pandava and my enemies are Kaurava. Krishna says, if you think you are a Pandava and if you think your enemies are Kaurava, you will be in problem. First, you should understand you are not Pandava, you are soul, and your enemies are not Kauravas. Your enemies are Kama, Esha, Krodha, Esha, Rajaguna, Samadvava. And in the fourth chapter, yesterday, we saw that the let us go to the first chapter. Arjuna says that I am Pandava, Kauravas are my enemies, and Pandavas are my uh, allies, friends. Krishna says, if you think like that, you will be having problems. So Krishna says in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you are not Pandava, you are soul. In the third chapter, he says, your enemies are not Kaurava, your enemies are Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Matsarya. And in the fourth chapter, he says that our real friend is the spiritual master. And today also we will see our real friend is Supreme Person of Godhead. And if we think that I am Pandava and my friend, my enemies are Kauravas and my friends are Pandavas, then we will be in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita and we will be in a very big problem. So we have to come out of this problem. But still, Arjuna is saying that the most important, Krishna is saying that the most important thing, the most sublime and the most powerful and the most purest and the most spiritual and the most transcendental thing in this world is spiritual knowledge. And Krishna, Arjuna is saying, if that is the most important thing, I'm going to take this spiritual knowledge. And why are you engaging me in this ghastly war? So Arjuna still is not understanding the plan of the Lord and is trying to avoid the plan of the Lord. So Krishna, Krishna is will explain very nicely that as yes, to understand the divine knowledge, our heart should be pure, and for making our heart pure, we should indulge in spiritual activity which is going to please Krishna. That is called as yajna. So Krishna is not saying something different. Krishna is saying, Arjuna, your heart is impure, and if you go to directly to study the spiritual knowledge, you will not understand. First, serve, do what I say, and purify your heart by yajna. And when your heart is purified, then you will receive the spiritual knowledge automatically. And Again, Krishna says, even if your heart is pure, your mind is pure, don't go to the forest. You remain here and tell the world, give and set a good example, and help others whose heart is impure to to take up Nishkam Karma Yoga and make their heart pure, and also come to accept the spiritual knowledge. So with this, we will come to the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is called as Karma Yoga, which is called as Karma Yoga in action, Karma Yoga action in Krishna consciousness. That is Karma Sannyasa Yoga. The first chapter is called Arjuna Vishad Yoga. Second chapter is called as Sankhya Yoga. Third chapter is called Karma Yoga, and the fourth chapter is called Gyan Karma Sannyas Yoga, and this is called Karma Sannyas Yoga. ASKJK, that is A for Arjuna. First chapter Arjuna Vishad Yoga, and S for Ask JK. ASK, Ask, Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Gyan Karma Sannyas Yoga, and this is Karma Sannyas Yoga. So, for better understanding and easy assimilation of this subject matter, let us go to understand this subject matter with a small introduction. Yes, Arjuna is still confused and asking question, so there is doubt. So, Srila Prabhupada, in one of his lectures in first chapter, he says that if we are in a dilemma, should I eat or not eat? Should I eat or not eat? Then we should not eat. But if it is the month of December in Bengal, everybody feels hungry, then we should eat. Eat. If we are in a dilemma to go or not to go, then we should not go. But if the stomach is upset and there is a call of nature, then we should not think and we should go attend the nature's call. And if we are in a dilemma, I should do or not do, then we should not do. But if Krishna says this to do, then we should definitely do. So in a way, there is dilemma in every walk of life, and we should know if Krishna says, then we should do it. But still, Krishna is kind, and Krishna is allowing Arjuna to ask his doubt. For better understanding and easy assimilation of the subject matter, the session will be taken in the following manners. Phase 1, Arjuna still asks, oh, you say Divya Gyan is good, and why are you telling me to engage in the costly war? Okay, okay. So the phase 2, Krishna says that yes, yes, Sannyas Yoga and Karma Yoga leads to the same spiritual platform, and still Nishkam Karma Yoga is better for you. That we see in the fourth chapter and third session, and in the fifth session, we can focus on the supreme and be liberated. Conclusion and question answers. With this, let us dive right into the phase 1 of fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna's question, sannyas or karma yoga. Wow, Arjuna is still saying that if the spiritual knowledge is so blissful, so peaceful, so joyful, so pure and transcendental, then why don't I go directly accept this spiritual knowledge? Okay, why are you telling me to be engaged in this ghastly warfare? Arjuna vacha sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha samsasi yakshreya etayor ekam tane bruvi sunischetam. What is the best for me? Hmm? What is Shreya means what is good for me, and Prayas means uh, what I think is good for me. There is difference between what I think is good for me and what is good for me. Prayas means जो हमको अच्छा लगता है, and Shreyas means जो हमारे लिए अच्छा है. So Arjuna is still begging, right? In the second chapter, he says, Karpanya dosha upahata swabhava prichami dharma sammuda chetasa yakshreyasan shishyasteham sadimam tam prapanam yakshreyastaam. Nishitam Britanme. Again, the Shreyas, Yak Shreya Etayor Ekam, Tan Bruhi Sunishchitam. So there it was Nishitam, here it is Sunischitam. Yak Shreya Nishitam Britanme Shishyasteham Sadimam Tan Prapanam. Again, Shreya Sunishchitam Bruhi. Tell me one thing. You're telling two things, but Krishna is saying, no, I'm not saying two things. I'm saying only one thing. Why are you telling me to engage in this ghastly warfare where I have to kill my own grandfather, teacher, and my uncle, brothers, and etc., etc., etc. Oh, Krishna. But Krishna will say, no, I am not saying two things. I'm only saying one thing. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Sanyasa Karma Yoga Cha Nishreyasya Karabha Tayosta Karma Sanyasa Karma Yoga Vishishyat. Karma Yoga and Sannyas both then will lead to divine knowledge, and both of them are good for us. Karma Yoga and Sannyas Yoga both lead to divine knowledge. Renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation, both leads to liberation. But of the two, the service, devotional service, Nishkam Karma Yoga is better than sannyas. Tayostu karma sannyasa karma yoga vishishyate. Karma yoga is better. Why it is better? For a person who has got an impure heart, if he directly goes to the forest, then again, because his heart is impure, sannyas is for those who are pure in the heart. They don't have lust, anger, greed, and any material hankering. For such a person, if he takes a sannyas, he goes to the forest, he will be peacefully meditating on the divine form and the qualities and the name and the pastimes of the Lord. But a person who is not yet impure, he has got still some material desire. He will go after 2 or 3 days. He'll say, "I want to drink tea. I want to drink coffee. I want to drink meet my relatives, friends, and wife and children." And then it is not good. So uh, but by working in divine, by engaging in Nishkam Karma Yoga, gradually by doing Yajna Tapas, doing some service by pleasing the Vaishnavas, one will be blessed and one will purify the heart. Because of the blessing, the heart gets purified and will get the divine knowledge and will be liberated. So for Arjuna, what is good is he should practice Nishkam Karma Yoga, not take sannyas. Because if one directly takes sannyas, there is a danger that because of impure heart, not, he may not fulfill the qualities or the conditions which is required for the sannyas yoga, and will be discouraged, and he will be called as Mithyachari, Durachari, Vabhichari instead of Sadachari, Brahmachari, or Sannyasi. So, what is good for Arjuna is that he goes to Nishkam Karma. It is like a small baby who is in a KG class. If you put him in PhD, he will neither do PhD nor will do KG. So, gradually be the inspiration for bringing the transformation. Jnana sa nitya sannyasi yo na dveshati na kankshati nirdanda hi mahabaho sukham bandhatra muchyate. For a sannyasi, his heart is pure and he neither hates nor desires for any material activities. Such a person is free from all dualities and easily overcomes all the bondage and is liberated. And that is possible for even for an impure person if he's gradually, like Ayati Maharaj, he was such a lusty person that he exchanged his youth for with his youngest son called Puru. But gradually he was doing Nishkam Karma Yoga. He was coming from Mangalartis 4 days in a week, later on 3 days in a week. Then he was later on again 6 days in a week. But he was coming late. Then again he started coming. And a day came, he became a Paramahansa. So So this process is very powerful, and allow the impure heart to become pure. Automatically, the divine knowledge will come. Sankhya Yoga Pritak Bala Pra Tanti na Pandita Ekamapi Astita Samyag Ubayorindate Palam. The fruit of Sankhya Yoga and the fruit of Nishkam Karma Yoga is that one gets divine knowledge, and with this divine knowledge, one is liberated and experience unlimited ever-increasing happiness. They both are same. Only a fool who is not a pandit, na pandita, will say that both are different. Prithak Balaha, it is different. But a pandit, but an intelligent person will never say Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga, Nishkam Karma Yoga is different, because Sankhya Yoga, sannyasi, with his pure heart, what is the kind of happiness he is experiencing will also be achieved by a person like Janak Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, who is in Niskam Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, or Buddhi Yoga. But Sannyas Yoga is for pure heart, and and that is not possible for children. That is not possible for women. It's not possible for uh, those who are with the impure heart. But Nishkam Karma Yoga can make is possible for every living entity. Oh Krishna, then then should I not strive for sannyas, renunciation, ultimate liberation? If it is sannyas, still Arjuna is trying to avoid the war. So Krishna says, yes. Yat Shankya prapyate sthanam tadyogerapi gamyate ekam Shankyam cha yogam cha yapashyati sapashyati. One who says that Shankya Yoga and Nishkam Karma Yoga are different is not an intelligent person. A person who says that Sankhya Yoga and Nishkam Karma Yoga are same, actually seeing things as it is, or is actually an intelligent person. He is seeing things in the right perspective. One who knows that the position reached by the means of Sankhya Yoga can be also attained by devotional service, who therefore sees the analytical study and devotional service to be same level, sees things as they are. So Krishna concludes that Sankhya Yoga and Sannyas Yoga, or Sankhya Yoga and Buddhi Yoga are is the same. And Krishna says, Arjuna, you please go through Nishkam Karma Yoga. Sannyas tu, because it is safe, it is not dangerous. Sannyasa tu mahabhavo dukkam atum ayogata yoga yukta munir brahma na chirena digachati. The sannyas mark is very difficult for an impure person, because the senses has got demand. The tongue wants to taste delicious thing. The ear wants to listen to melodious sound, and the smell nose wants to smell something which is very fragrant, and the skin wants to touch something which is soft. The senses will demand. For a person who is not pure, should not run for sannyas. It will be dukkham, because the hands will say I want to do something, and the legs will say I want to do something. So karma, the senses, which is the jnana indriya and the karma indriya, will demand things, and if one is not pure, then it will be very difficult. One can change dress and go to a different place, but when the with the impure heart, the senses started demanding things, it will be very horrible. For namesake, he will say is sannyas, but in the night he may do something very wrong and horrible and obnoxious. So, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was a very powerful renunciant, and he was so powerful that many youth started getting attracted to him. One youth said that I want to also be like you, a renunciant. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj said, no, no, no. So, for 2 3 days, the youth was sitting with Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Whole night he was chanting, but then Gorkisha Das Babaji Maharaj was saying that in the night this fellow is going somewhere. Later on he found out, 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 later on he found out that this boy was in the night going to some place, some to meet his girlfriend, and back in the night. Later on, Gorkisha Das Babaji told him, "You please be peaceful." But still, he continued. Later on, after a few months, this boy left the place, and he married a bar girl, and produced children and had children had a family life. So it is not that what Gorki Sodas Babaji Maharaj was doing, because he was a pure heart for this boy. If he had come for Mangalati every day and was giving donation and doing service, later on, maybe after 15 years, he would have achieved that kind of happiness which Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj is experiencing. So it is very painful and dangerous and full of distress, because in person who takes sannyas in an impure heart, he has got senses like others also. And when it is senses demands are not fulfilled, it will be very painful. He will be like Ravana, he will be like Indra, he will be like Sobri Rishi or Vishwamitra, and it will be very painful. Oh, Krishna, the process of devotional service is so good. Mm, Nishkam Karma Yoga is good. So, once again, please tell me, what are the symptoms of a person who is successful in Krishna consciousness, or Nishkam Karma Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, or Bhakti Yoga? Okay, okay. So, this is like the second chapter, Sthita Pragya. Shakabhasham, uh, Yoga Yukta Visuddha Atma. So, this goes on till slok number 16. Yoga. योग युक्त विशुद्ध आत्मा विजित आत्मा जितेन्द्रिया सर्वभूतात्मा भूतात्मा कुर्वानापि न लिप्यति. That person whose heart is pure and very pure, and he is able to he has conquered the senses, the urges of the senses, and he understands that the Krishna is as super soul in every living entity. He is the soul of all the souls. Sarva Bhutatma Bhutvatma Kurvana Pinalipide. Even though he is working, still he is not entangled in any act. He is never entangled by the karma. So, so, and he is very dear to everyone. So, in this way, the pure devotee is knows that Krishna is the soul of soul, super soul in everybody's heart, and he is he has control over the urges, and because of his good behavior, he is and good intention, he is dear to every living entity. Naiva kinchit करोम इति युक्त मन्यते तत्ववेद पश्यान श्रृण्वान स्पृशान जिग्रान अस्कान गच्छान स्वापान स्वसाम. And he knows that I am breathing, I am walking, I am talking, I am seeing, I am touching, I am doing sleeping, and I am dreaming, but I am breathing. But as he's doing everything, he knows that it is only the body which is doing, but the soul is not doing. So it is like this. The person who is achieved this Krishna Paramahansa stage, he knows that I am not this body, I am soul, and I am not the room, I am in the room. I am not the city, I am in the city. I am not the car, I am in the car. The car is touching the road. The tires of the car is touching the floor, and the windshield of the uh, outer body of the car is touching the breeze, and the horn is making the noise, not me. And in this way, the mirror is seeing, not my eyes. So in this way, he knows that he is in the car, and I'm sitting in the car. I'm not touching the floor. I'm not touching the wind. I'm not, making the noise. So similarly, a pure devotee in divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping, and breathing, always knows himself actually is doing nothing. It is only the body which is doing everything. While speaking, evacuating, receiving, opening, closing eyes, he always knows that only the body is doing everything, but he is different from the body. I am not the body, I am the soul. Pralapan Vishrijan Grinan Unmishan nimishan api indriyan indriyateshu vartante iti narayan. He is aloof from it, and he knows that I am in the body, I am not the body. I am in the city, I am not the city. I am in the room, I am not the room. I am in the city with 9 gates. So even though he is in the city, but he is not thinks he is the gate. How do we understand that such a person is liberated? We understand by his activities. Like Srila Prabhupada is there for 24 hours. For only 3 hours he gives for body, 2 hours sleeping and 1 hour massage and taking bath and eating. Okay, 4 hours. And rest 20 hours is doing activities like chanting, dancing, preaching, etc. That is at a spiritual level. But similarly, so this is how a spiritual person, a liberated person, uh, in 24 hours will say at least 20 hours is in spiritual activities. And he does not do much for the bodily activities. Whereas we can find a person who is in material activity, goes to in front of the mirror and polishing and makeuping and hairstyle and lipstick and whatnot, dress and this and that. So that is a person who thinks that I am the body. A person who thinks that I am the room, I am the car. So if car gets little scratchy, gets little disturbed. Brahmani, and if the uh, children are playing and the ball hits the window and the glass breaks, he gets very disturbed. So for a pure devotee, even if his car is scratched, he says, okay, or the glass is broken, he doesn't take it very seriously. But for a person who feels that I am the body, I am the room, I am the car, is very disturbed. Brahmani adaya karmani sangam tekta karotiya lipyate sanasa papena padma patram emam basa. Like he is in this world, he is in this world, but not of this world. He is in this body, but not in the bodily consciousness. He is in the room, but is not in the room consciousness. He is in the city, but he is not in the city consciousness. Prabhupada is in New York, but he says, I am in Vrindavan. Prabhupada is in Moscow, he says, I am not in Moscow, I am in Vrindavan. Prabhupada in his body, but he is still in thinking about Krishna. So that is the mood. Like, like the boat is in water, that is good. Boat is in water, but water is in the boat, that is dangerous. So that's a difference. Like the lotus leaf, Padma Patram Iva Ambasa. The lotus leaf is in water, but the lotus leaf does not mixes in the water and gets mixed and diluted and uh, totally uh, into the water. Like there is a paper leaf, and the paper leaf for after 24 hours will not be in the surface. It will become totally mixed with the water and it will submerge in the water. What to speak of iron leaf? Iron leaf, as soon as it is put, it will go into the water, submerge into the water later on, deteriorate. But Patra Ambasa, the lotus leaf, will be there for days, months together, but it will not go into the water or it will not mm, be affected by the water. So the pure devotee is in the material world, but is not of the material world. Like the boat is in the water, that is good, but water is in the boat is dangerous. Correct? We are in this world, that is good, but the world is in our. He said like this, she said like this. Oh, they did like this. They did like that way, this way, so it affects us, then it's dangerous. So gradually, if we take up Krishna consciousness, one can come out of all this kind of uh, material ups and downs. Kayena manasa buddhaya kevaler indriyer api yogina karma kurvanti sangam tet atma shuddhaye. Such a person is liberated soul. Such a person is a liberated soul, where his body is serving Krishna, his mind is serving Krishna, his intelligence is serving Krishna, and his senses are serving Krishna. In this way, he is totally surrendered and to service of Krishna. Yogi That yogi abandoning attachment, act of body, mind, intelligence, and senses, Vali works for purification. He takes bath to purify the body. He sleeps to purify the body. He eats to purify the body. Just even if sleeping, eating becomes Krishna consciousness. Yukta karma phala tyakta shantim apnoti naistikim ayukta kama karena phale sukta nibaddate. And such a person achieves an unadulterated peace. He's very peaceful because he's one in with plan of the Lord. Like Sanjaya is peaceful, Bhishma Pitama is peaceful, Sanjay is peaceful because he is one with Krishna's plan. Bhishma Pitama is one with Krishna's plan, whereas Arjuna is not peaceful, the Dhritarashtra is not peaceful, and Duryodhana is not peaceful because he is not one with Krishna's plan. And such a person, uh, he will act, but he will not doesn't say that I want money out of this. He just acts to please Krishna, and even though he's Prabhupada is constructing temples, making disciples, writing books, giving lectures, giving interview, meeting people, but he is not entangled because everything he is doing for serving Krishna. It's like a prisoner who is in the jail, and he is doing everything uh, to to please the government. The jailer will remove his handcuff, leg cuff, and neck cuff, हाथ कड़ी, पांव कड़ी, and गले का कड़ी, and the jail, the prisoner is in the jail, but is not unlike other prisoners, like who are in handcuff and leg cuff and neck cuff. Yeah, so there is difference. He's in the jail, but still is a liberated prisoner. Similarly, a pure devotee is a liberated soul in the material world. He is in the prison, but not like the prisoners. He is a prisoner, but like not like the other prisoners. Sarva karmani manasa sannyas aste sukam vasi navadvara pure dehi naiva kurvan nakarayan. He knows that I am in a city of 9 doors, 2 eyes, 2 nose, nostrils, 2 ears, mouth, 7, and um, then Udar Upastha, where we pass water and stool. So there are 9 doors in this body, and the pure devotee, he knows I am in the body of, I am in this city of 9 doors. Now Dwara, now Dwara. I am in a city of Navadware Pure Dehi. I am a soul. I am not this body. I am I am in the body. I am not the body. I am in the room. I am not the room. I am in the city. I am not the city. So city with nine, nine doors. So he is very happily inside the body because he is one with Krishna's plan. Mm. Now, and it is possible gradually, 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 gradually. So, what happiness a sannyasi with a pure consciousness is experiencing, a Nishkam Karma Yogi can also experience gradually if he is passing KG class, 5th standard, 10th standard, 12th standard, 15th standard, 17th standard, and he will be in the 20th standard, and he will get doctorate, double doctorate, triple doctorate, whatever, but at least he should study, continue, not leave the school. Na kartritvam na karmani lokasya srijati prabho na karma palla samyogam swabhavastu pravartate. The embodied soul, the master of the city of the body, he is the master of the body. Like he does not, even though he's acting, but he's not doing anything to anything which will entangle him. Whatever he does for the pleasure of Krishna. The prisoner is there, but he's doing everything to please the government and the jailer. So that's why the jailer will not punish him. He says, Bob, you are helping me. So in fact, so even though the prisoner is in the prison house, and but uh, he is not the jailer will not entangle him or punish him more because he is he is doing everything to please the government. So, not to, and such a prisoner will tell, hey, listen to other prisoners also. Why are you doing what is going to harm you? Come on, listen to the jailer and help the government, and he will help other prisoners also to be improved. So, devotees like Prabhupada, they come into the material world and help us to be free from the clutches of the jailer Maya Devi. Oh, if the devotee, so devotee does many things, but still you say that he is not doing anything, then who is doing everything? Krishna says it is the material nature that prisoner knows. Nadatte kasyachit papam na chaiva sukritam vibho. Ajnanenavritam jnanam tena muyata jantava. So, if a living entity is doing activity, you say that the living entity is not acting, it is the material nature which is acting, then material nature is acting under the Supreme Person of Godhead, then God is responsible for what is wrong and bad happening in this material world. Krishna says, no, no, no. The Lord is not responsible for what is bad and happening, good happening, because it is not the Lord, because Lord has, because it is the living entities, it is the living entities' minute independence which is misused, because of which the living entity is suffering, and it is not the Lord. Lord is there to help him, but if the living entity misuses its minute independence, he says that I will not serve you, then he is into problems. ज्ञानेन तु तद् अज्ञानम् येषां नासीतं आत्मना तेषाम् अनित्यवज्ञानं प्रकाशाति तत् param. Even a living entity who is, even a living entity who is the worst and worst of the consciousness, and is totally into ignorance, such a living entity also takes up Nishkam Karma Yoga. The knowledge, they will attain knowledge by doing Yajnadan Tapa and serving the Vaishnavas. By the blessings, the mind becomes pure, consciousness becomes pure. And once the consciousness becomes pure, they will see things as it is. It's like this: in a dark room for 100 years, the room is dark. Somebody opens the door and puts a torch, switch on the bulb. So immediately all the darkness will go. Similarly, a person for many lifetimes is in sense gratification, is in the darkness of ignorance. But as soon as he is enlightened, immediately he will see that I belong to Krishna. Everything which is with me belongs to Krishna. I should serve Krishna. Everything which is with me should be in service of Krishna. Everything I see, everything I experience should be in service of Krishna. Is enlightened. So it is not that when the bulb is on, the darkness will say, for past 80 years, for past 100 years, we were here. How dare you come here and kick us out? No, as soon as we get enlightened, immediately all the ignorance will go. It is like this: a mountain of dry cotton. If we if we put a spark of uh, fire, immediately the whole cotton mountain will burn into ashes, or the dry grasses will burn into ashes. So so, so, so this is the benefit of taking up Nishkam Karma Yoga. Gradually, gradually, uh, one gets elevated, and one will, like Yayati Maharaj, experience this wonderful uh, bliss, which even a sannyasi is experiencing. So in this way, the symptoms of pure Vaishnava is being mentioned. Tad buddhaya tad atmana tad nishtas tad parayana gacchanti apunur abritam jnana nirduta kalmasham. And his mind is free from all the dirts of lust, anger, greed, is he he receives all the knowledge. His intelligence becomes pure, his mind becomes pure, his faith becomes steadfast, and he is totally surrendered to Krishna. Such a surrendered soul will be blessed by Krishna and protected by Krishna, and uh, he he is free from all the doubts, and he is in the path of experiencing unlimited, ever increasing happiness. And such a person will be very humble. Such a person will give respect to everyone. Such a person will see everything and see that with everything, there is the super soul also. Like in the beginning of this session, we saw that Sarva Bhut Atma, Bhut Atma. So similarly, such a person will see Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmani Gavihastani Sunicheva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshina. Such a person as like Sarva Atma, Sarva Bhutatma, Bhutatma. He will understand that the Lord is there within every living entity. Oh, this he has got this soul has got a dog body because of his past karma. This got an elephant body because of his past karma. This got a cow body because of his past karma. So in this way, he says that not only he sees that every living entity because of his misuse of the minute independence is getting different body, but he will give respect to every living entity. Vidya Vinaya Sampannim. Trinadapi Sunichena Tararapi Saisuna Manina Manadena Kirtanya Sada Hari. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. This divine knowledge will come to those who are Vinay. Vinay means humble. Humility is the vehicle which takes us from material world to spiritual world. So if we are not humble, then this knowledge will not come. If we are humble, the knowledge will come. If we get this knowledge, we will become humble. Either way, but we should be humble. He will see a brahmana, he will see a cow, he will see an elephant, he will see a tiger, and he will give respect, and the heart of the heart he will engage all of them in Krishna's service, or pray that everybody be engaged in Krishna's service and experience the happiness which pure ever increasing happiness. Pandita Samadarshina. He will give respect to the cow, the brahmana, elephant, dog, but maintain, he will be close to the brahmana and the cow, but he will maintain distance from elephant and the dog. Otherwise, tiger also, lion also. Otherwise, if he goes close to the lion and says that lion, you become Krishna conscious. So immediately the lion will take a tulsi leaf and put on the head of the devotee and says Mahaprasade Govinde, and so he will know. Yeah. So similarly, people ask question. When we are with devotees, we can practice Trinadapi Sunichena, but when with the non-devotees, we cannot. We become a doormat. They take us for granted. They, exploit us. So we should understand. With the devotees, we should have Preeti, and with non-devotees, we should have Niti. So we should follow Chanakya Pandit's Niti with non-devotees, and with Preeti, Preeti with devotees. So it is not that we hate the non-devotees, but we should know how to behave with a fool, how to behave with a king, how to behave with a minister, how to behave with rich people, how to behave with with women, children. So we should know it. That is niti. We should not be because we are dealing with devotees and non-devotees. With devotees, priti, and with non-devotees, niti. Otherwise, it will be like this. Like the lion will say that, wow, put tulsi, and he says Mahaprata Govinde. So if we become humble and everything, yes, we should be humble with him. But we should, with non-devotees, they will take us for granted. They'll use us as a footmat. We will use us, we use and abuse us. No, we should not let them do that. We should use niti. इहा एवा तेर्जित सर्गो येषां शम्यां स्थितं मनः निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म तस्मात् ब्रह्मणि स्थिता. So such a person will experience the happiness which Krishna is experiencing. They will be so peaceful and blissful and joyful that whether their body is painful, but whether the body is diseased, they are not much bothered. Body may be painful, but the mind is peaceful, and the devotee is peaceful. So those who mind who are in that Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmani Gavyastani Sunicheva Sopakija Pandita Samadarshina, he is he has the he experiences tranquility, and uh, he, whether he's alive or he's going to die, or he's whether he is liberated, he's peaceful. In the material world, in the material body, he is experiencing divine bliss, and after death, in Krishna's service, he will be uh, experiencing divine bliss. Wow. So Arjuna is saying, how should such a person act? Like, person act in this material world. That is the symptom. And how does he act in this material world? Na prahish yate priyam prapyam na dvijet prapya cha apriyam stira buddhir asammudo brahmabid brahmani stita. Like a cashier, like a cashier, when the money comes, he does not dance. Arey, wow, let us have party, let us party. And if somebody is taking money, give me 2 lakh rupees, and he goes, oh, why this happened? Why? No, he knows this money is coming to the bank. It is going from the bank. He's not disturbed. Similarly, if he gets palace to stay, it is Krishna's mercy. If he gets a hut to stay, it is Krishna's wish. He's not disturbed. So, uh, uh, मन जो चाहे हो तो भगवान का कृपा, मन जो चाहे वो ना हो तो भगवान का इच्छा. इज नॉट डिस्टर्ब and is happy in all conditions. So in this way, such a person will tolerate everything and just continue with his life. He's just in the board in the he's like a prisoner who is uh, free, but he's waiting, and a day will come when he will be August 15th or August January 26th. He will be told liberated by the government. भूय बाह्य स्पर्शेव सक्त आत्मा विन्दन्ति आत्मने यत् सुखम स ब्रह्मयोग युक्त आत्मा सुखम अक्षय अश्नुते. So such a liberated person, he does not take pleasure in seeing, material movies and other things. He is just peaceful. He sees, even if he sees somebody, some beautiful person, he says it is Krishna who has beauty, which is manifesting in this person by Krishna's mercy, or he is powerful because Krishna's strength is being manifested in this such a person. He is very intelligent because it's Krishna's intelligence which is manifesting in, and he will not get, attracted to such a person. He will say that I pray that such a person with his all good qualities take up Krishna consciousness, be in Krishna consciousness, and experience Krishna consciousness. And such a person will know that he is very careful, like that. He knows that because of Prabhupada's mercy, I am in ISKCON, and because of Prabhupada's mercy, I'm having a spiritual master. Because of Prabhupada, I'm in ISKCON with, I have a spiritual master, and I have Vaishnavas, and somehow this mind is in control because of my spiritual practices. And he knows that, like a hunter who is hunting, a hunter is hunting and is catching the prey. The prey is in the net. The hunter will be very careful because the prey will not say, the hunter has taken me, hunter has taken me, I am happy in the net. No, the prey will see for 1 second, it is inattentive, run away. Similar, the mind is like a prey in the net of sadhana, our spiritual practices. And the sadhaka, the spiritual practitioner, is very careful. The mind may, if you are inattentive, the mind will again, like a prey, run away from the net, clutches of the run. The mind will not say, wow, your joint is gone. Ho, 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 ho. You are chanting 16 rounds. Hey, good. Oh, no, the mind will try to run away. यही संस्पर्शचा भूत दुःखयो नये बते आदि अंतमंत कौनते नाते रमते Buddha. He will be very careful. He knows that again, if I indulge in eating, sleeping, and mating, and seeing the movie, and eating unwanted foods, and drinking unwanted drinks, and doing unwanted activities, it will be dangerous. It will be the cause of my misery. Yahi sanspar sacha bhoga. This is the cause of it. It's the birth of misery. And it has got adi, it has got a beginning and an end, and again it will have a beginning and a continuous series of beginning of an end. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha yona evate. So such an intelligent person will stay away from such materialistic activity. Oh Krishna, how long should a devotee, a devotee of the Lord, should tolerate the urges of Maya? How long? How long? As long as he is in this material world, in the material body, he has to tolerate. He has to tolerate. He has to tolerate. He has to tolerate. Saknoti ha eva ya sodam praksharira vimuksnat kama krodha bhavegam sayukta sa suchinara. Such a person will tolerate all the urges of lust, anger, and greed. Um, and such a person will experience happiness. Like a man wants to go to the 100th floor in a lift, and a fat person enters also, and he wants to go to the 25th floor, and there is another person. The fat person is giving a tough time to the person who wants to go to the 100th floor, but there is another person watching. This person who wants to go to the 100th floor is not doing anything, is not shouting, is not raising a voice, is not saying this is wrong. He's just keeping quiet. But the second fellow is watching everything. He's dare not say anything, otherwise he's get something. So after the 25th floor, the fat person goes. Then the second person is asking, my dear person, Prabhuji, why this fellow gave you a hard time, slapped you, pushed you, bet you. You did not speak a word. You are just smiling. You were why did not you raise your voice? You also have equal right. You also have the right to be peaceful in this lift. He said, my dear young fellow, I know that I have to go to the 100th floor. It's important for me to go to the 100th floor. If I speak anything, maybe in the 14th floor, my teeth will be out, my eyes will be out, and when I will be out of the lift, I may not reach the 100th floor. Better I keep quiet. At least I'm reaching the 100th floor. So this is how a pure devotee tolerates everything. He knows that if he just indulge in anything, he reacts, then he will be in the cycle of birth, death, old age, disease, and he will be in the hospital. And instead of going to the 100th floor, instead of going to the spiritual world, he will be in this material world. So he's very careful, very careful, very careful. He tolerates, tolerates, tolerates. Yo anta sukha antara rama tat antara jyotir eva ya sayogi brahma nirvanam brahma bhuta digacchate. And such tolerance and such humility will lead, he will be able to tolerate all the urges, and he will be able to be peaceful, happy, and in this material world, in the jail, he will be again not like other prisoners, but he will be liberated prisoner. So he will be a mukt atma in this material world. The same kind of happiness one can get by sannyas also. Labante brahma nirvana rishaya shina kalmasha chinna dvaida yatatmana sarvabhuta hiterata. So those who are beyond duality and doubts, duality that arise from the doubts, and the mind is engaged in Krishna's service, will be doing welfare activity for all and be free from all the sins. Kama Krodha Vimukta Atmana. A sannyasi, the sannyasi who goes to the forest, he will also, because his mind is pure, he will control his urges of lust, anger, and greed. Kama Krodha Vimukta Atma Yatinam Yata Chetasa Abhito Brahma Nirvanam Vartate Vidit Atmana. So the so Krishna is telling that the Nishkam Karma Yogi, even though he is the like a burst, lustiest person in this world, greediest person in this world, angriest person in this world, but if he gradually takes up Bhakti Yoga, Nishkam Karma Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, he will definitely be blessed one day with pure. His mind will be purified and experience. He will get the divine knowledge and he will experience bliss and joy. But what a pure sannyasi is experiencing by going to the forest. There are two ways to experience that. One is by going take sannyas, and one is by taking Nishkam Karma Yoga. Both end up with the same result when it is successfully achieved. Sparshan kritva bahirbahyam chakshu chaiv antare bhruvo pranapano samakritva nasa bhaya antara charino. A sannyasi goes to the forest and he closes his eyes and stops listening everything which from outside. Yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, and pratihara. Then he goes for other processes, and gradually he comes to sannyas. So that's what is achieved by a Nishkam Karma Yogi. But the path of sannyas for an impure soul is very dangerous. But the path of sannyas is for pure heart, and one is impure. For him, it's very safe that gradually takes up Krishna consciousness, be blessed, and understand that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. Krishna is the master of all, and he has got no master, and is our friend. And such a devotee will experience bliss in the heart. Bhoktaram yagatapasam sarvaloka maheshwara suvirda sarvabhutanam natam mam shantim richyati. This is the peace formula. This is the activity which will bring us peace. Once we understand by Nishkam Karma Yoga, by the association of the devotees taking shelter of a spiritual master, the Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, and we will say that we are here to give joy to Krishna with our activities. Bhoktaram Yagatapasam, Sarva Lokmaya. Krishna is the supreme controller, is the master of all the masters. We have class teacher, then principal controls the class teacher, principal is controlled by the trustee is controlled by the education minister is controlled by the chief minister is controlled by the prime minister is controlled by time, and time is controlled by Krishna is not controlled. So one may say that, okay, Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, let him enjoy, so what? No, but so what? But he is the supreme controller, he will do good for us. But he may be a good controller but he may be a dictator like Idi Amin. No, Krishna is not that kind of a controller. He is a well-wisher, Suhirda. He desires our best. Wow. Then he says, yeah, he's an enjoyer, controller, not like Idi Amin, and he's he's a well-wisher. Then we will be peaceful. Okay, he is thinking of my good. One may be an enjoyer. A rich man may enjoy, but when he's going to enjoy, the factory managers and workers will exploit and take the whole factory in their name. This happens. But Krishna is not that kind of enjoyer. He has control also. He will control the whole material world, and nothing will go out of his control, even a blade of grass. Such a control. But is he like I mean, no, he's like a very good friend. So when we get such an understanding, we will be peaceful. And Krishna consciousness teaches us real peace formula. UNO, United Nations Organization, was established after the Second World War. But even after that, many nations started, many more nations were coming up. There are more fights. But when Prabhupada established Krishna consciousness, ISKCON, we find the Americans, the Russians, the Europeans, the Africans, the Asians, everybody is coming together and dancing and saying Jai Sachinandan, Jai Sachinandan, Jai Sachinandan, Gaur Hari. This is real United Nations organization because this process leads to peace and bliss. And if we take this process very seriously from today till our death, we will definitely achieve peace and bliss as we are living. And after leaving the body, we will be blissful and peaceful. Hare Krishna. So let us take this process seriously, make Prabhupada and Gurudev happy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.